Hey everybody, so I found a few minutes today to make a quick video. I'm sorry it's been a while, I'll get to that at the end. But this new project was announced today from Image called Firepower. Robert Kirkman, Chris Somney, Matt Wilson, and Russell Wooten. And they put out some artwork from this today. This was one of the panels that came out of it. And it's sort of, I've been geeking out about it. and I was noticing all these little tricks that Matt did to really make this image pretty incredible, and I thought I'd make a pretty quick video about it. I want to start, of course, Chris Somney, the artist on this that drew it. He's doing his own thing in creating the composition here. You've got the rule of thirds that are kind of pulling you into this area, and you've got all this dark ink down here at the bottom against the really white snow, and that's creating a lot of contrast here. And there's a lot of black ink up here, but Matt has sort of he's lightened those lines quite a bit. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Anyway, let's talk about color. I'm a lot more comfortable talking about color than I am talking about line art. So Matt has used all sorts of different types of contrast on this image in order to make it work and to make it feel as stunning as it is. And I want to talk about these, and so you guys can start kind of looking for these in artwork that you like, and then hopefully be able to use this in your own work too. So I want to start with really the most obvious. So the darkest colors are at the bottom. Okay, you got this little area here. That's really the darkest part of the image, along with the guy himself here, and that is contrasted against everything above it, which is significantly lighter. And you can see what Matt did even in this area here, which would have been a big kind of black area of ink. He's lightened those colors to create an area of lower contrast so that it's not pulling away from the focal point here. And so this area where the light meets dark is already going to be something that pulls your eye into the image. But you'll notice that in the area behind this guy, okay, or girl, I don't actually know who this is, but in this area behind this character, you can see that's actually the lightest part of the image, or some of the lightest part. This white here against these white clouds here, that's as light as this image gets. But the white up here is against colors that are also light. You've got these light blues, you've got the light blue in the lines even, and so this whole area is created an area of low contrast. Okay, you can even see where in this area where it would have been a lot of black ink, he's lightened it a lot, but you'll notice too that even the colors of the clouds are different, because if he had used this white in the clouds down here, and I can even scribble some in a really ugly way here, but you can see that would create a lot of contrast, because you'd have this the white of the clouds next to these darker lines, and you would end up with an area of pretty high contrast, which is not really what you're going for here when you're trying to get the audience to really create a really strong focus in this area. So even though this whole dark area along the bottom is all about the same value, I think, what Matt's done is controlled the area above it, okay? And so he's controlled the colors there. So you've got lighter colors behind the guy we want you to look at, and then the values over here are a little bit darker. And so instead of having a high contrast white against this darker blue, you get kind of a middle blue against just a little bit darker blue. And so you get an area, again, of low contrast, and your high contrast is over here. I know I'm saying contrast a lot, but that's like the whole point of what makes this image awesome. Again, kind of obvious one, but the jacket and the backpack, you got this kind of greenish color in the backpack and this warm color on the jacket. That's the only place that Matt used that color, okay? That's another trick you can use. If you really want something to stand out, make that thing a color that doesn't appear anywhere else, Now, so here in this case, we've got this kind of warm color. It's probably not even that warm. You have a color picking it. You can see it's kind of a grayish purple, but against all this blue, that purple actually appears warm because it's surrounded by cool colors. Matt is also using some contrast in the temperature of the lighting itself, because everywhere else on this image, the light is white and basically shades of blue. Like no matter where you pick, it's just white and blue, okay? Now, you'll notice that again, along this edge in the area that he wants you to look and wants to be the, the focal point of this image, the lighting color is shifted. I don't know how well you guys can see this on YouTube, if the compression of the video makes it not stand out quite so much. But there's definitely a warmth, a little bit of yellow, and it's really not that yellow. It's almost white, but it's against all this blue. It doesn't have to be that warm. So there's just a little bit of warmth in this light along the edge of this cliff, and that's the only light that color on the image. Okay, there's no yellow anywhere else on this image. So again, that's that same trick again. He's using that yellow in one spot, and so again, that creates a really area of very high contrast because it doesn't appear anywhere else. The storytelling and the value and the contrast on this is so good that if you make it black and white, and this is a little bit easier to see the difference in the values here, but you can make it black and white and really get rid of all the detail. I ran a quick mosaic filter over this, and even with no detail at all, it's really obvious where the focus of this panel is. And you can see that on this, you've got light colors here, you've got light colors up here and all these different places, but the only place that a color that light is against a color that dark is right here. And that's really the whole point of this whole video, is to show you, how many different ways you can layer these different types of contrast on top of each other to create a really, really cool panel. Whew, okay, so anyway, I'm working on some more videos. I apologize for the lack of videos lately, but I've had some coloring projects taking up a lot of time, and honestly, I'm just not back at 100% health-wise right now, and some things are slowing me down, but I am planning some videos. I'm hoping to have one out soon. If you want to support this channel, support what I'm doing here, be sure to check the links in the description, subscribe, like, comment, all those things. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.